guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be going for a POV drive. I just got a new camera, so testing this new POV setup. But in parallel, I wanted to talk to you guys about my exhaust setup, which I've had on for about a month now. And if you guys haven't seen the video yet, what we are running is a VRSF catless downpipe, VRSF catless single mid pipe, and the Dinan free flow axle back. So essentially a full straight piped exhaust, but we are retaining the valves on the muffler. It's about 30 degrees in Jersey today, so I do have it in MDM. It's in Sport Plus right now, so you guys should be hearing a little bit more exhaust feedback in the cabin. So we have Sport Plus, engine setting. I'm gonna throw the suspension into Sport. I don't like it full tilt. And then steering will be Sport Plus. You guys have probably heard the cold start, and with this setup it is extremely loud on cold starts if the car is in MDM mode or if I have it in Sport Plus on the engine, which sometimes I like to hear it on cold start. But you know, if you're in a quiet neighborhood and you don't want to piss off your neighbors, if you do start the car in efficient, I find that it's a little bit louder than stock, which is not too obnoxious. It's definitely manageable. So you know, that kind of is what makes this setup so perfect, is that you're still retaining the stock valves, which I think majority of the exhausts on these cars are. So you know, in my opinion, I would want an exhaust to be extremely loud, or the tone that I want it to when I need it to be, but have the ability to go back to, you know, similar to stock if I'm inefficient, which this exhaust is doing perfectly. Just want to talk a little bit about, you know, what a setup like this would run you. From downpipes all the way to the axle back, we're probably going to be looking at around 3,200 MSRP for everything brand new. However, you know, this chassis has been out for a while, so I would definitely shop around and try to find some of these parts used, which I did. And in total I paid 1,300 for all the parts, so that's almost more than 50% off. And you know, the parts are still in great condition. Some were even open box, just used. right now on the stock tune, the burbles are almost perfect. It's not too obnoxious. But I think if I did get a tune, I would want to try to remove the burbles and see what that sounds like. If I'm getting a lot more maybe turbo spool and, you know, just a little less noise when I let off the throttle, which I'm not really a big fan of. Been driving like full throttle, you know, just going like 60% because it snowed like a couple days ago. Alright, so we got some shitty roads coming up, so I'm gonna throw the car in efficient just to give you guys an idea of how quiet it could be, and then I'm gonna throw it in just auto mode. Now it's inefficient, so there's like a slight drone, but it's nothing that's not manageable. Overall, I think it sounds very similar to stock inefficient, and you know, I've had passengers tell me like they didn't know the car was modified until I threw it in Sport Plus, so that's a plus, you know. Right now this is very quiet. You know, if you have cops coming up on you, or you're trying to, you know, go home in peace, not trying to make your block hot, this is definitely manageable, but it's not fun. So we're gonna throw it back into Sport Plus and have some fun. These roads are not great, but you know, we don't have canyons in Jersey like Californians, so I have to make do with what we have. And it's a little bit wet out, so definitely taking my time out here. This is a nice path though. It has a lot of elevation, good amount of curves. Traction there. Roads are wet, so I'm definitely not going crazy. So I know there are two main exhaust setups out there, which are the single mid pipe or the equivalent mid pipe. Equivalent gives it more of a Porsche type sound, like a trumpet. The single mid pipe kind of keeps the original, you know, like a raspy sound. Not too raspy. I don't want to say a raspy because that's the wrong term, but like a deep tone to it. That's the tone I was going for. So would I say the exhaust meet my expectations? Yes, it's exactly what I intended for the car to sound like. In terms of loudness, I think it's perfect. Just because you have the valves, it's not, you know, always open, always completely loud. But I think overall, this is one of the best exhaust setups you could do for the S55. I did say rasp earlier, but so far, after hearing the exhaust, it doesn't really have a lot of rasp. It just has that deep tone to it, which I like. And, you know, overall for the price, it's not, if you're picking up this used, it's not a bad setup. Now, I'm new to the S55 game. I did have a B58 before, which those setups come from factory single mid pipe and it's single turbo, so the tone of those I think is more desirable from factory. You know, I've only had one setup on this car, but from what I've heard from other S55s, I think this is one of my favorite setups. But if you guys are running something different, I'd definitely be interested to hear, you know, if you're running something similar or, you know, like what your setup is. And then maybe that's something I could try in the future to kind of experiment with it. I did go from stock straight to this setup. Went to the shop and, you know, kind of did the whole thing from the downpipe back. Which, you know, if you're doing your build, you don't need to rush it. You could do it stage by stage and see, you know, what you like. I'm not recommending that you go ahead and drop, you know, the money for the full exhaust. But, you know, I did come across a couple deals as soon as I picked up the car, and they were all exhaust related. So I figured, you know, why not? Because I know if I do just downpipes, I'm going to want a little bit more. If I do just mid pipes, I'm going to want a little bit more. And then the Dinan exhaust, I just couldn't pass up on that opportunity. I will say one thing though. I think one thing that caught me off guard, and is specific to this generation of cars, is that the valves automatically open and close even when in Sport Plus, like if you're cruising on the highway or something. So at first I was like, oh, this sounds great, the car is loud. But then I'm on the highway cruising like 60 or 70 miles per hour, and let's say I downshift and do a pull. It doesn't sound as loud or engaging as, let's say, when I just started up in the morning and throw it into Sport Plus. So from my understanding, that's something that could get coded. So I'm gonna look to code that in a couple weeks, and that's to leave the valves open, I guess, all the time, unless you're in efficient, or I think you could code it halfway in Sport Plus, but once you're halfway in Sport, but once you're in Sport Plus, you want to have it open all the time. Because my thing is, if I'm in Sport Plus, I want the car to be rowdy, I want it to be angry, and then if I want it to be quiet, then I throw it in efficient. So I think that's one of my only drawbacks with this, but that's something that could easily be fixed. And obviously it's not related to the quality or the setup of the exhaust. That's just a software thing that could easily be changed. Alright, quick pit stop. You could hear her purring right now. The car is filthy. Completely filthy from all the salt and dust on the road, but the car is ceramic coated and polished a couple weeks ago, so not too worried about cleaning her up. And we have a car meet to attend later on, but look how beautiful she looks. Just perfect. Right now she's bare, only lowered Got tints obviously, but I think we could benefit from some aero here, some side skirts, rear diffuser, and obviously a few more performance mods. I think maybe I'm gonna throw some intakes in there. But yeah, I guess while I'm out here, I'm just gonna set up the camera here real quick and give you guys a few revs from the outside. I know we have the drive-in POV, but revs are a little bit different. Definitely drop your thoughts down in the comments. You know, let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed the POV content today. Like I said, I'm trying out this new setup. If you record POV content, let me know if you could drop some tips on, you know, my angle, or I try to mic up the exhaust as well, so give you guys a little bit more feedback of what the setup sounds like. But yeah, drop some tips down below. Let me know if you like the POV. And let me know if you want more POVs. You know, I just got this set up, so excited to use it a little bit more.